Hi, you're watching Brioche Knit Tips. I'm Zandy from So I Make Stuff, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fade two light colors together in brioche stitch. If you don't have a project to work with, you can follow the link in the description to Ravelry, where you can download this pattern for a faded brioche coaster and trivet. In this coaster, you can see what we're going to be working on. I used 3 colors of yarn. 2 are light, and those are seen in these ridges on the front side, and 1 is dark, and that's what's in the valleys. We're not going to change the dark color throughout the project. It's going to stay the same. The light color is going to change slightly, and what we're going to do is take 2 colors that are kind of similar and work 12 rows of the first one, and at the end we work 12 rows of the second one, and in the middle, that's where we do our fade. The fade is made up of stripes, and you can see a little bit of a striping effect here. Optimally, you won't want to get that in your final project, but I'm working with scrap yarns, so I didn't really have a choice of how well they blended together. In my actual swatch that I'll be working on, you'll see a really, really subtle, nice fade. So let's get going. This is my project so far. You can see that I've worked 12 rows, and I'm working the slip stitch selvage as I showed you in the previous video. If you don't know how to do that, you can always go and watch the video and see how it's done. It will really help you get started. I want to show you what colors I've picked. I have these 2 very similar tones. One is pink, and that's my first light color, and the other one is pink, but it also has some yellow and brown. So these are very similar, and you really won't see any striping in the project when it's done. When I worked these 2 colors together on my blooming brioche shawl, they really turned out well. The yellow gave the edge of the project a slight lift. It's very, very subtle, but it's just enough to give you a little variation in tone. Let's get going. Now that we've discussed the color, let's get started. To begin your row, you're going to slip 1 stitch like I've done here, but instead of picking up your light color yarn that's in the back of your work, you're just going to let it hang there. And then you're going to pick up your new light color. So this is my light color 2 yarn, the one that's a little bit more yellow, and I'm going to leave about 4 inches or 10 centimeters of tail in the back of my work. And I'm just going to begin my row after I slip 1 with a brioche knit and slip 1 yarn over. Brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, just like I normally would all the way to the end of the row with the new color. So I finished my first row, and when I slide back to do my dark color row, I just want to make sure that this tail gets pulled tight. This stitch, the first stitch in the new color, can get kind of loose, so I just want to make sure that it doesn't pull out. Then I'm going to start my row as I normally would with the dark color. As I finish my row in the dark color and get ready to flip my work, my 2 colors, my light color 2 and my dark color, are right in the right place to work row 4. That's where they should be. And remember, my other light color is still at the other end of the piece. So I'm just going to work row 4 as if it's a regular row. As I finish up row 4 in my dark color, I'm just going to do it as usual. You'll see these 2 yarns coming out of the side in the same kind of column of the pattern. You'll also see our tail where we joined it. That's going to get sewn in later, and you won't see it at all. But you can see how the lower color is the pink color. That's our light color 1. That's what we're going to use for the next 2 rows when we repeat rows 3 and 4 again. So let me flip it over and show you. Here you can see that our 2 rows at the top were in light color too. It's really hard to tell at this point what's going on. And if you see a strong stripe of color there, you probably need to pick colors that are closer together. Otherwise, you're going to get a really stripy piece. To work the next 2 rows, I'm going to make sure that my yarns are hanging at the back, my 2 light colors. I'm going to make sure that I pick up not the tail, but this first light color coming from the lowest spot. And I'm going to just let the other hang in the back and pick this up to work with it. Now, it's going to skip up a few rows and there's going to be a little bit of a loop. That's not going to bother you in the end because it's almost invisible unless you pull it really, really tight. Then you're going to have a really tight edge on this and it's going to warp the project to one side. So I'm going to leave a little bit of slack here as I start my row with a slip stitch. And then again, just like regular brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over and repeat. Now that I'm done with row 4, using my light color 1 and my dark color, I'm going to flip it over and look at the stripe. Now, with these 2 colors, they're very close, so I can't really see a defined stripe, but what I do see is a little bit of yellow coming into the project in certain areas and a little bit of the brown as well. So it's shifting very slowly between the 2 colors. The next step is simply to repeat these stripes again. So you're going to change color and use light color 2 and dark color for 2 rows. Then you're going to use light color 1 and dark color for 2 rows. And again, light color 2, light color 1. And I'll catch up with you when I'm done with those stripes. Here you can see that I've finished all of my fade rows. And I can hardly see the transition because my colors are so subtle. But I can see where my tail started. So I know that there's a stripe of the yellower color right there. You can see it a little bit right there, and again right there. When we're doing our stripes, we start with light color 1, then we do light color 2, light color 1, light color 2, light color 1, light color 2, light color 1, and then we go into 12 rows of light color 2. Just like at the beginning, it's mirrored. So I'm going to start that now, and that means that I can avoid some tangles and cut this pink yarn. We won't be using that again. Okay, I'm ready to go. So this is actually really boring. I'm just going to continue working rows 3 and 4 6 times. So I'll start, but I think you've seen this before. And I'm using light color 2. I'm at the end of my 6 repeats of rows 3 and 4, and I'm just working the dark color. And you'll see when I flip this over that there is a color shift going on. You can see here that there's pink and then a mix of the 2 colors and then the peach at the top. I know that it's very subtle, but I prefer very subtle fades myself. I think that when they're obvious, it kind of defeats the purpose of the slow change. So I'd like to show you a few examples other than this so that you can see some more extreme color shifts. We have this coaster that I showed you at the beginning, and again, there are 3 distinct sections: the light blue, the middle, and then the aqua. and they're all 12 rows each. This is kind of a more extreme shift in color, and I think that the stripes are a little distracting, but they're not really bad. If you get a lot of striping, it will take away from whatever design you're working. Here I have a fade between 3 colors. When I started this, I knew that I wanted the dark purple and the light lavender color, but those are too extreme. They won't blend together very well, so I added this multicolor in the middle. And you'll notice, if you look at this, remember how I talked about obvious stripes? Well, here at the bottom, there are some kind of obvious stripes. Actually, if we didn't have the top part to look at, those stripes would be really distracting, especially if you were working a stitch pattern where those lines, those vertical lines formed by the brioche color work, were important to see what was going on. That would kind of be a waste of all your effort if you were doing a stitch pattern and had those stripes distracting from it. In those two multicolors blending together, there's a lot more variation, and that means they kind of smooth themselves out in a way that a solid color, like this, can't. Now, if you've been following along with this video about fades because you're working the Blooming Brioche knit along, I hope that you'll join me in the next video where I'm going to show you how to sew in ends, steam block, and measure your swatch. If you're not working on that project, it's also a really good video to watch for any brioche where the gauge is going to be important. So I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.